Deep in the canals of Mexico City, there's an island covered in thousands of decaying dolls. They hang from trees. They're nailed to walls. Their eyes follow you. And according to locals, they move at night. This is the Island of Dolls. And the man who put them there died in the exact same spot where his nightmare began. Welcome to another dark tourism story. Today, we're visiting one of the most disturbing places on Earth. A place that shouldn't exist. A place where childhood innocence has been twisted into something deeply unsettling. This is the true story of Isla de las Muñecas, the Island of Dolls. And I'm going to tell you why thousands of people travel to this remote island every year, even though everything about it screams, stay away. Isla de las Muñecas is located in the Xochimilco canals, about 2 hours south of Mexico City. It's not easy to get to. You have to take a boat through narrow, winding waterways surrounded by dense vegetation. There are no roads, no buildings nearby, just water, trees, and silence. And then you see them. Dolls. Hundreds of them, thousands of them hanging from branches, tied to fences, propped against trees. Some are missing limbs, others have no eyes. Many are covered in moss and decay. Their hair is matted, their clothes are rotting, and their faces are frozen in expressions that look almost human, almost alive. Visitors describe the island as one of the creepiest places they've ever been. The dolls seem to watch you. Even when you're not looking at them, you can feel their eyes. And at night, locals say you can hear them whispering. But this island wasn't always like this. It wasn't a tourist attraction. It wasn't an art installation. It was the work of one man. A man haunted by something he saw. A man driven by guilt, fear, and possibly madness. His name was Julián Santana Barrera. He was born in 1921 and lived most of his life on this small island in Xochimilco. Julián was a recluse. He kept to himself. He didn't talk much. He spent his days farming and fishing. A quiet life, a simple life. But in the 1950s, something happened that changed everything. According to Julián, he was near the canal one day when he saw something in the water. A little girl. She was drowning. He tried to save her. He jumped in. He reached for her. But it was too late. She was gone. Or at least that's what Julián claimed. No one else saw the girl. There's no record of a drowning. No missing person report. No body was ever found. Some people think Julián made it up. Others think he witnessed something real but traumatic, and his mind couldn't handle it. Whatever the truth, Julián was convinced he had seen a girl drown, and he was convinced she was still there. He said he could hear her, at night, crying, calling out from the water. He said her spirit was trapped on the island, and she was angry. She wanted something. She wanted dolls. So Julián started collecting them. He found them floating in the canal. He pulled them from the trash. He traded vegetables from his farm for old, broken dolls from nearby villages, and he hung them up, all over the island, on trees, on fences, everywhere. He believed the dolls would protect him, that they would calm the spirit of the drowned girl, that if he gave her enough dolls, she would leave him alone. But it didn't stop. Julián's obsession grew. For over 50 years, he collected dolls, thousands of them. He stopped maintaining his farm. He stopped talking to people. He spent all his time hanging dolls and listening to the whispers he claimed to hear. Visitors who met Julián in his later years said he was paranoid. He believed the dolls were alive. He said they moved when he wasn't looking. He said they protected him from evil spirits. He talked to them. He gave them names. Some of the dolls are intact, but many are dismembered. Arms missing, legs torn off, heads separated from bodies. Julián said this was intentional. He believed that damaged dolls had more power, that their suffering made them stronger protectors. The island became a shrine, a monument to obsession, and Julián became a prisoner of his own creation. He rarely left. He lived alone, surrounded by thousands of decaying dolls, convinced he was protecting himself from a spirit only he could see. People started hearing about the island. Locals avoided it. They said it was cursed. They said the dolls were possessed. Some claimed to see the dolls' eyes move. Others said they heard children's laughter coming from the island at night, even though no children were there. And Julián? He kept adding more dolls, more eyes watching, more broken faces staring. On April 17th, 2001, Julián's nephew came to visit him. He hadn't seen his uncle in a while and was worried. When he arrived on the island, he found Julián floating face down in the canal, dead. The exact spot. The same place where Julián claimed he had seen the little girl drown 50 years earlier. The cause of death was listed as a heart attack, but locals don't believe it. They say the girl finally got what she wanted. They say the dolls took him. They say he was pulled into the water by the same spirit he had spent his entire life trying to appease. Julián's family left the island as it was. They didn't remove the dolls. They didn't clean anything up. And slowly, word spread. Tourists started coming. First a few, then dozens, then hundreds. Today, Isla de las Muñecas is one of the most visited dark tourism sites in Mexico. Thousands of people take boats through the canals every year to see it, and many of them bring new dolls. They hang them on the trees, just like Julián did. They leave offerings, they take photos, and they leave feeling deeply unsettled. So why do people go? What's the appeal? Some are curious. They want to see if the stories are true, if the place really is as creepy as people say. And it is. Everyone who visits agrees. There's something wrong with this island. Something off. Even in broad daylight, it feels like you're being watched. Others come for the paranormal. They believe the dolls are haunted. They claim to hear whispers, to see movement in the corner of their eyes. Some say they've captured EVPs, electronic voice phenomena, on recording devices. Voices of children, voices saying, "Help me," or "Stay." And then there are those who come to pay respects, to Julián, to the girl, whether she was real or not. They bring dolls as offerings. They tie them to the trees and say a quiet prayer before leaving. The island is maintained now by Julián's relatives. They charge a small fee for boat rides. They've added a few benches and paths, but they've kept the dolls, all of them, because removing them, they say, would anger the spirits. Tourists describe the experience as haunting, unforgettable, disturbing. Many say they couldn't sleep the night after visiting. Some say they regret going. Others say it's the most fascinating place they've ever been. But everyone agrees on one thing. The Island of Dolls is not a place you forget. Isla de las Muñecas is a place born from tragedy, obsession, and fear. Whether you believe in spirits or not, there's no denying the power this island has over people. The story of Julián Santana Barrera is a reminder that sometimes the things we create to protect ourselves become the very things that trap us. If you ever find yourself in Mexico City, you can visit the Island of Dolls. Boats leave from the Xochimilco docks every day. But be warned, once you see those dolls, once you feel their eyes on you, you'll carry that image with you for the rest of your life. Some places are meant to be left alone, but we keep going back because we're drawn to the dark. We're fascinated by fear. And places like this remind us that the line between reality and nightmare is thinner than we'd like to believe. If you found this story disturbing, let me know in the comments. Have you ever visited a dark tourism site? Would you go to the Island of Dolls? Share your thoughts below. Subscribe for more dark tourism and horror stories. And remember, some places don't want to be forgotten. Thanks for watching.